we are going to look at a couple of different overs and unders here, and maybe some guys off the beaten path, and maybe some of the guys up front. So Tee Higgins for the late game, Bengals and Broncos, you would feel that defense going to need to get stretched a little bit. A lot will be put on Jamar Chase. And again, for those that are VSiN Pro subscribers, I want to make mention of our bottom part if you're watching on FanDuel Sports Network, YouTube TV. Opta is one of our great tools that we have at VSiN.com, and it gives you not only the projections, but also the Opta advantage of seeing the difference in delta. So Jamar Chase, over 64.5 receiving yards. Opta has it upwards of 94 to 95. So that's a 30-yard difference, Dave, if you want to play the over on Jamar Chase. I do like Tee Higgins 4 or more receptions tonight. Play that at $1.52 on DraftKings. Braylon Allen, 15 or more rush yards here for the Jets tonight. We'll see Breece Hall, and I'm sure a lot predicated from Miami's front to try and limit Breece in the run game. So the change of pace, you might just need 1 or 2 quick bursts from Braylon Allen to get that over. I would expect that the Bengals secondary is going to do a lot to limit Cortland Sutton and force Bo Nix to have to go to ulterior options. So played the under 5.5 on receptions. And, hey, Justin Fields coming back. You know, what will his continuity look like with Garrett Wilson and company in the pass game? I went a little bit more conservative, under 17.5 pass completions, Dave, but also just some ideas there from not only my perspective, but the Opta advantage. Pretty cool to see some of these other ones. You mentioned Breece Hall, under 58.5 rush yards. Opta has that at 45, so that's a 13-yard delta. Under on the Tua Tagovailoa, passing yards at 234.5. They've got him right around 220. Jake Browning over 219.5 at almost 248 yards. So just more tools. If you're a VSiN Pro subscriber, great to use that Opta projection system to give you an idea of what to play tonight.
That's going to get me to that Jake Browning over. I really like that play for that offense. And I'll say this, that Denver defense, the vaunted Denver defense, has not been that vaunted so far this year. Kind of like the Packers last night where you go, what? The Cowboys scored 40 points or 38 offensively. Not saying that that's what the Bengals can do tonight, but I do like that play there. And I think Browning should be able to move the ball efficiently with those talented wide receiving core that they have in Cincinnati. You got a little teaser two-step tonight, and I'm certainly picking up what you're putting down in game number 1.
Yes. All right. So let's tease the Jets up to plus 8.5, and then the Broncos down to minus 1.5. I do think the Bengals can find a way to keep this game close tonight. And you and I are already on a contest play, having the Jets plus 2.5 in our final Circa Millions of week 4. We will guarantee a winning week, having the Steelers plus 2.5, the Lions minus 9.5. Also getting the Texans minus 7 across the line. We fall short on the Bills minus 15.5, but Jets plus 2.5 to finish this out. I think they have a great chance to win it outright tonight, but I'll take the extra 6 points right there. And the Broncos similarly, right? Has there been some regression from Bo Nix? Yes. Do the Bengals, find a way to backdoor this thing potentially? But I don't want to have to worry about covering that full touchdown and then some. So let's go ahead and play that. Also looking ahead to Thursday Night Football. And we've had this matchup circled for quite some time. Dave, that number has ticked up. It was 3 overnight. It's now 3.5 in a lot of places here for the 49ers. I did play 3 at even money, so did not get the better of the number there. But I am going to put in right now a 6-point teaser. I'll play the Jets again, plus 8.5, and I'm going to take the Niners up to plus 9.5. I think the Niners will have a lot of urgency here against Matthew Stafford and company. So a fun little teaser two-step, if you will, employing tonight's games and then taking the Jets into Thursday Night Football here in a couple of days.
And the reason why I said picking up what you're putting down, something we talked about a lot in the program last week. If you teased up the Steelers from 2.5 to 8.5, you never had to sweat it. They win the game outright. If you teased up early in the week, remember the Falcons were getting points, and I teased them up from 2.5 to 8.5. Of course, they swung to the favorite, never in jeopardy there. If you teased up the Buccaneers from 3.5 to 9.5, like I did there yesterday, it was sweaty, but it got home in the end. And one other one, the Colts were 3.5. They get it done as well. And also the Jaguars are 3.5-point dogs, and they win outright. So that's been very profitable in the early year. Those 2.5 and 3.5s, teasing those up. Almost all of them got home yesterday. Let's get to betting the build here on the Monday night contest here and start off with our good friends. Hopefully you're watching on FanDuel Sports Network. And at FanDuel right now, Jensen, you've already bet that build.
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, one of those unique Monday night slates where we get to use a classic lineup employing players from both games. So on FanDuel, I'm going to buy low here on Justin Fields. And again, as we like the Jets tonight with the points and potentially outright, let's take the cheaper guy here and with the dual threat capability. No shocker, Devon Achane, the bell cow there for the Miami Dolphins. We'll also get Breece Hall in there. I do think Tua finds Tyreek early tonight because, again, if you want to try and put the pressure on Justin Fields to have to beat you through the air, Tyreek's going to have to be inundated in the offense, as well as his wide receiver mate, Jalen Waddle. Garrett Wilson will have in there as well. Evan Ingram, tight end here for the Broncos. Mentioned how I think the Bengals are going to try and limit Courtland Sutton as much as possible, pivoting to Ingram, and then J.K. Dobbins there for the Broncos. Will take the best defense on the board tonight in that FanDuel build. So again, just a little way to diversify here on the FanDuel side that is just a half point per reception versus DraftKings, which is a full point per reception.
And that's where the differences do come in at different price points that you've had now to bet the build here for DraftKings. What changes in the lineup from FanDuel to DraftKings did you make?
Yeah, so I went more with the volume guys, right? And so Jamar Chase is going to find his way into this one. Again, referencing the Opta, projections and seeing that Jake Browning is projected by Opta to be healthily over his passing yards prop. Well, Jamar Chase was 30 yards over his receiving prop. So why not stick him in there and try and get as much volume to Jamar Chase as possible? We pivoted a little bit on some of the receiving core. Mason Taylor, tight end there for the Jets, going to find a way. Sometimes, Dave, when you get the big guns, you're going to have to be able to pivot on a cheaper price. But that lends me towards Mason Taylor. And let's err on the side of caution here. If the Dolphins cannot get it together, did not want to be too overexposed with their offense, I'll keep Tyreek in there. But we go back with the Jets defense in case this one is a lower scoring game.
Thanks for watching, but don't let the betting insights end here. If you want an extra edge this football season, you can get a month of VSiN Pro right now absolutely free. That means access to our betting insights, analysis, and tools like our betting splits at zero cost to you. Click the link in the description to sign up.